So today in Boat Parts and What Do They Do, we're going to be taking a look at one of the most popular boats in the world, the Laser. Hello, yes, it's Joe here for Joyrider TV. We're going to be taking a look at all the parts of the boat and what they do. We're going to be having a look at the sail controls and when you'd go about using those bad boys. So I think we should just dive in and have a look. So we're starting at the front of the boat, where we have the fair lead or bow eye. This is where we attach the shock cord for the dagger board and where we can tie the trolley on when handling the boat on land. The painter for the trolley we would generally leave on the trolley rather than on the boat, so you're not dragging that around while you're sailing. Then we have the mast. This is a two-piece mast. The top section, which is the longer piece, will always be the same. The lower section will be different depending on which size sail you are using. The mast locates into the mast step, which is basically a hole where you slot it in. Next we have the sail. The Laser has 3 options for sail size depending on your weight. You can also, of course, use a different sail size depending on the strength of the wind. The standard sail is 7.06 meters. The radial sail is 5.76 and the 4.7 is 4.7. All the sails have 3 battens to support the leech or the back edge of the sail, and telltales so that you can see if you need to sheet in or sheet out. Now we move on to the sail controls. The Cunningham or downhaul controls the shape of the sail generally. Pulling the Cunningham tight will flatten the sail and bring the centre of effort down and forwards. More Cunningham is appropriate when sailing in stronger winds. The Outhaul controls the shape in the lower part of the sail, and on the Laser this has a huge effect. Looser Outhaul is appropriate when reaching or running or when sailing in waves. That will give the boat more drive and power. Tighter Outhaul will help when sailing upwind, especially when sailing in stronger winds. The kicker, also known as the kicking strap or vang, controls the tension in the leech of the sail. More tension in the leech will improve your pointing ability upwind. As the wind increases, more kicker should be applied when sailing upwind. The kicker should be eased for downwind sailing, but never so much that the boom can lift higher than 90 degrees to the mast. The main sheet we use to alter the angle of the sail to the wind. This is used for different points of sail or responding to changes in the wind strength. The traveller on a Laser is what holds the rear main sheet block. It needs to be tight enough so that the block stays all the way to the outside of the boat. As the other controls are pulled on in heavier winds, the traveller will need to be tightened. In lighter winds, the traveller should be loose enough so that it doesn't affect the tiller. Where your feet go is called the cockpit. This area can fill with water, so there's a simple self-draining system. The tow strap enables the sailor to get more weight outboard by hiking out. This can be adjusted according to conditions or the size of the sailor. Also in the cockpit, you will find grab rails. These make it easier to get back into the boat after a capsize, or if you're hiking out and the wind suddenly drops. The dagger board, simply put, we put down for upwind, up for downwind, and half for half wind or reaching. The rudder, we want to make sure the rudder is fully down. It's held down using this rope that locates into this cleat. This needs to be tight. Attached to the rudder we have the tiller and tiller extension so that we can get our weight more outboard as we're sailing along. And then at the back of the boat, possibly the most important part of the boat, is the bung. The bung needs to be screwed in tightly before we put the boat in the water. Okay, so there we go. I hope that was both useful, entertaining and informative. And if you're looking at starting sailing a laser, you now know a bit more about how to work one. My name's been Joe, this has been Joyrider TV. So if you're into this kind of thing, do hit the subscribe button and there'll be more great stuff coming soon on Joyrider TV. Thank you very much.